Hello, everyone. So, in today's session, I'm going to be covering the tips and tricks that can help you land a dream job in tech. You see, many people struggle with, uh, many people have questions like, is tech not oversaturated? I mean, is tech not oversaturated? Are markets there in various industries? Let's focus on people who are in Africa, for example. In Africa, you are in a country like Uganda, which is landlocked, whose currency compared to USA is quite, there's a big gap. And that means if you get a local opportunity, it might not pay you that much, or probably you are not interested in local opportunities, but you are interested in international opportunities. What can you do? Probably you are pondering to switch careers. Maybe you are someone who has been working in a bank, but currently you want to go, you want to join tech and maybe become a software developer, a cybersecurity expert, a designer, a content writer, a copywriter, a marketeer, SEO expert, all of those roles. Maybe it's what you want to become. So you want to test these waters, but you are like, is it possible? Because you've heard tech in the news, on TV, on social media, people close to you are all calling themselves tech experts, developers, so on and so forth. So you are like, is it the right time? Is it the right career? All right, let's take a look at it. So I'm going to talk about or to share 9 key ways or key tips that can help you land your dream job in tech. Let's go. So number one is, of definitely you have to gain the skills before you land your tech job. No one is going to give you a job because you are passionate. No one is going to give you a job because you want to test the if you can do it in tech. So you are going to compete against people who have put in their time, who have put in all their resources and commitment and dedication to gain the skills. So that means that you need to focus on building tech skills. But which tech skills, you may ask? Like coding, designing, technical writing, copywriting, marketing, uh, social media management, SEO optimization, website development, so on and so forth. I mean, the career opportunities in tech are endless. You can even become a podcaster and earn as a podcaster. So, rule number one or tip number one is build tech skills. You may have to spend time testing the waters, looking at which tech skill appeals to you, which one comes naturally to you. But hey, uh, we have one life, and the best you can do is try it out. Don't just become a coder because everyone is a coder today or a developer. There are many, many opportunities. All right, let's go to number two. So, number two is building a portfolio. Once you've built your skills, for example, if you can, like me, I'm a web developer. So, if I wanted to get a job as a web developer, what I would do is to build some web applications. It could be like a to do list app, a chat app, um, a weather app, an API. Uh, Whether it's REST or GraphQL API, I could build that and put up a website and list everything I've done and then share on social media and be ready to share this portfolio so that it can stand in for me. It can show others that it can show potential employers that I'm able, I'm dedicated, I'm committed, and I have the skills. And most importantly, it is a way to show that I can solve problems. All right, on to number three. So, number three is promote the portfolio. Yes, promote the portfolio. You can set up a strong social media strategy and ways to promote your portfolio through social media. For example, you may share tips in areas which come natural to you, where you feel comfortable. Like if you feel comfortable in HTML, you can share tips, uh, beginner tips about HTML, and then add your portfolio link somewhere. You can create a YouTube video like this one, and in the description, add a portfolio link. You can add the portfolio link in your email signature to ensure that whoever receives your email can see this. You can put your portfolio link in your social media profiles, and you can as well share it among your friends in the network, publish it in blogs, share it with social media influencers or online influencers, and that way you'll be able to, your portfolio will be seen, it will become popular, and anyone looking for a developer or a tech expert will be able to know that you exist and reach out. But if you keep silent, if you don't promote your portfolio, people are not going to know that you exist. People are not going to know that there's someone like you, and opportunities will always pass by you and go to others. Okay, number four. Number four is join the community. So what do we mean by join a community in your locality? For example, where I come from in Uganda, there are Google developer communities, there are Able State Circle communities, there are um, what WordPress communities, Python communities, and many others. They are all here. And the beauty about the communities is that these communities are filled or occupied by people of different backgrounds and technical skills, including tech founders and investors. So when you join a community, you will learn a lot and faster. You will connect with the potential employers and recruiters. But if you don't join a community, you may not know what is needed of you to be able to get the job. You may not know that someone is close, someone who is looking for a developer like you is actually close to you, And sometimes, even if you don't land an employer in the community, you always learn something about how to position yourself for a tech opportunity. Or someone may connect you to a company. For example, I'm part of the WordPress community in Uganda. And, in WordPress communities, what we do WordPress meetups and WordCamps. And what happens is that recently, one of my friends connected me to an employer who is interested in a remote developer. The employer is a Nigerian, but is based in the USA and is looking for a developer. And because this employer has worked with my colleague, it was very, very easy for my colleague, for the employer to accept uh, my colleague's recommendation. So that way, in a week's time, I'm going to start working and earn while developing plugins for WordPress, and I'll earn while doing what I love. Another opportunity that I got through community is that I was sharing my knowledge just like now, and I was sharing it one-on-one with a colleague who happened to get a job in a certain company in Kampala, and he recommended me when they needed someone of my abilities. And because the recommendation was word of mouth, and because this friend of mine had a great reputation at that company, definitely the employer assumed that I will also be as the recommender suggests, or even better. So that's how I got the opportunity. And I've worked at this company for 5 years without ever meeting my bosses, even when we are in the same location. So join the local community. It pays off. All right, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is simple. Reach out to employers. Many people don't know how to do this. Sometimes they call it cold emailing and cold phone calls. So what you're gonna do? Identify, for example, this is this software I'm using to stream right now is called StreamYard. You know, you can just go and research about StreamYard on Wikipedia, Google, and everywhere, and happen to know StreamYard's contact details, especially for the HR department. Then you can write to them. For as long as you trust your skills, you have your portfolio in place, you can write to them and tell them, I am so and so, my abilities are this and this, and I'm looking for an opportunity in this and this role. You can do that to Twitter, you can do that to Google, to Automatic, to whatever company you want, Feed Hive, so on and so forth. I mean, you may get a lot of rejections, but don't give up. I've seen people who got their first job after 500 applications. So if you give up on the first, on the second, on the third, you don't know what you want. Good opportunities are not easy to come by, though sometimes they are easy, but I mean, chances are minimal that it's gonna be easy, especially depending on where you are located. If you are located in Africa and the company you want to work for is in the US, you have to think about the time difference uh, between you and the employer. That alone discourages employers. So that's why you need to do the due diligence and discover the contact details for hiring, for recruiters in these companies, or hiring experts in these companies and agencies, and immediately get in touch. You know, you can as well you can as well prepare yourself by completing profiles on Turing, on Talent.io, on Eberstate, on other platforms. And then because usually, like, if you complete profiles on these platforms, there are chances that you're gonna be interviewed in order for these companies to consider you as ready. Now when they interview you, most definitely, if you pass the interview, there's a chance that you're going to be placed. There is a chance that there's a client who's looking for someone, and what this company, what Turing or Eberstate or Tarentai or whichever company in quotes is interviewing you is as promised to their client that, we have someone, we have talent, and the talent is pre-vetted. So that means that yeah, before you reach out, ensure that you trust your skills, ensure that you've built a portfolio, promote your portfolio, and number 4 was join a community, and then start reaching out to employers and recruiters when you are ready. All right. Number 6. So apply for jobs in job boards. Like, many people don't want to put in the effort, especially the beginners or people who have never landed their first tech job. So sometimes they don't, they think that the job will find them, but this is impossible. There is just, that you are in a career which is competitive. You are in a career that maybe in your locality the the companies don't have enough money to pay uh, to talents. So this means that you have to approach the global market. Now, if you have to to approach the global market. How will you be known? How you're gonna do it is go to job boards like on Indeed.com, like FlexJobs.com, like uh, Talentai or Remote OK, People Per Hour, Upwork, all of these. Find which one resonates to you well, because it's also difficult if you apply in many, because if you apply in many, you may lose focus and you may communicate in a way that is not ideal, that you may kill your communication in a way that you may disconnect. So I'd particularly uh, encourage you to pick out one or two or three, a maximum of three job boards if you've not yet gotten a job, and post your details there and share your profile on those job boards with other people. This is a way to indicate that you are ready. You know what you are offering. You are committed and dedicated. So someone on those job boards might pick you up and you land your dream tech job. Then the other number seven is prepare for interviews. Many people, because they can develop a mobile app or a web app, a desktop app, whatever it is, they think they shouldn't they shouldn't be tested or be interviewed. But then no one knows that whatever you've put in the portfolio is you who did it. So this means that someone has to interview you in order to put you in their brand. The other thing is that the interviews usually have stages, in such as application, then technical coding interview, then technical interview, offers, then the culture fit, communication, where so at in all these phases, the interviewer is looking for different traits in you. They are looking for dedication, communication skills. They are looking for willingness. They are looking to see if your values, your personal values, align with their brand values. They are looking to see if you are a problem solver, and you know and if you do not prepare for the interview, even simple questions like what is HTML, like what is CSS, like what does this mean, like what is the difference between an argument and a parameter, you know are going to be difficult. So I encourage you, try as much as possible to prepare for an interview, even before you apply for a job and even before you post uh, your details in job boards. All right. To prepare, you may create accounts on websites like Code Wars, Rank, HackRank, Algo Expert, and others, in order for you to be challenged with various uh, challenges like coding challenges, so on and so forth. And whenever you do whatever, you solve those challenges on those coding platforms, it's going to be easier for you to land to perform well in the interview and land your dream job in tech. Let's go on to number eight, which is the second last. So don't ignore the degree, though it might not be necessary. Like, so for example, I'm one of those people who do not have a degree, but I'm thriving, yet I'm living in a third world country, in a third world country where having electricity for 24 hours is difficult. Having stable internet is difficult. Acquiring equipment is difficult, but I do thrive and I even run a startup. So what happens is that uh, if I had a degree, probably I would even be working for Microsoft or Google or Automatic or whatever. But sometimes as much as you are technically talented, sometimes some roles, like say for example, product management roles, project manager, product management, project manager, uh, senior recruiter, most times than not, senior engineer, most times than not, some companies require that person to have a degree in a related field. I understand that uh, there are changes that are happening in the industry. There is a disruption where companies like Google, companies like I think Microsoft do not really care about degrees anymore. But then, as much as they don't care, they care for certain roles. So it depends on the role you want to get. And also, some companies say that if you are from a certain location, you need to have a degree or something that is equivalent to a certain certification in their country. And you may find that if you are in Africa, the closest equivalence you're going to have is a bachelor's degree. So, as much as it's not primary, it's important not to ignore it. If you have the opportunity to get the degree, please get it, pursue it. If you don't have the opportunity, don't give up. You can still pursue it in the future and don't give up on the tech career. Just do, uh, just put in practice the first 7 tips that I've shared here. All right, on to the last one, which is tip number 9. You can create a job, okay? You don't have to look for jobs in different companies. I know someone called Simon Hoiberg in, I think he relocated from Denmark to Switzerland. Is the founder of FeedHive. He was, I think he was working in the sales department for different companies. And when he got tired, he maneuvered into tech. And instead of getting a job, he created one. He created a company called FeedHive, and through FeedHive is earning some good amount of money, like many people who are employed do not earn, and as well is employing others. And FeedHive is categorized as a SaaS app. So you as well can become a SaaS founder, create a SaaS tool, and become self-employed or earn as a founder, whatever it is, and give employment opportunity to others. So because you cannot get a job, it does not mean the end of the world. No, it doesn't mean the end of the world. So what happens is that you can create jobs. You can join other founders and like you can join other startups that are looking for your talent and become a founder in those startups and be a developer there. And as these startups grow, I mean, the risk is too high, but the higher the risk, usually the higher the reward, and also the higher the loss that can be. But we cannot be pessimists. We just have to be optimistic. If there is an opportunity to join a startup, that a growing startup, join, and that way you may get uh, you may get you may create the dream job of you can create your dream job in the tech, and the rest will be history. So thank you for so much for tuning in, and please share this video with others, uh, and help them learn. Each one has to teach one for the world to be transformed. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Thank you very much. See you in the next